The Joshua Fury situation is just bizarre. I mean, it really is. There should be no reason for that fight to land in New York. I don't understand. I don't get it. What is it that Netflix wants it in New York? For what? Like for what? I don't know what they're thinking, you know? I heard somebody say that a part of the reason they want to cater to a US time zone is because they have more subscribers in the United States. I heard that might be the reason. And I was just thinking, well, think about it. If you do this fight in the UK, this is a fight that the boxing fans would normally expect in the UK to pay 29 to 30 pounds to see it, because normally a fight like this would be a pay-per-view. And if Netflix is doing it, you have to figure that a Netflix subscription might actually be less than the 30 pounds a pay-per-view would have costed. So if it's about that, you can still do it over there, and the people that want to see it will subscribe, even if it's just for the month. And the people in America, the ones that are interested, they can still watch it because it would happen in the afternoon. It would happen, at a reasonable time where, yeah, if you care about this fight, you can absolutely watch it in the afternoon. To do it in America is just like, yo, this is lunacy. Like, we shouldn't even be having this conversation. What it do, Davo? What it do, Killer B? What it do, Baldy Gooch? We out here. Donald, what it do? I can't believe we're having this conversation. Joshua versus Fury in America. Why? For what? The Americans ain't the Americans ain't hot for American fighters. Why would they be hot for British guys? I don't know, dog. I don't know, man. Like, boxing is in just such a strange place right now. Like, I don't even know. I don't even get it. I guess it came out that the fighter Raven Chapman, who is said to be recuperating from brain surgery to alleviate the swelling from a hematoma and a subdural hematoma, I guess we now know who she was sparring. She was sparring Dina. And, I've told you guys about Dina. For those who don't know, for those who may have never seen her fight, that Dina's one of the best. Like, yeah, she's one of the best. And she hits hard. I'm wondering what... I guess that the sparring that Dina was doing, that Raven was doing in Denmark, and I wondered about it, like, what? Was she sparring Dina? Because who else would she have been sparring in Denmark? Who over there would she have been sparring? And I guess it was Dina. I guess. So it's like, if you wanted to know what I meant when I said that, the girl hits hard, like, yeah, she knocked bitches out and she knocked bitches down. There you have it. Ring IQ and what it do, Naughty? What it do, Davo? I wondered who was it that she could have been out there sparring, because Denmark don't really got that many fighters, let alone female fighters. I'm like, what was she sparring Dina for the Johnson fight? Yo, man, I guess she must have pieced her up real bad. Is the only thing I could think. And that would have been a good sparring session for Dina to have, because Raven is a pressure fighter. She likes to come forward. And, that's what I think Shernika Johnson is going to try to do. She's going to try to come forward on Dina the way she does everybody. Dina's used to dealing with that. She's dealt with that plenty of times. So, wow, Are they going to price gouge here in the USA? Hearing that's why the World Cup might be back here in the USA in 2038. Possibly. I mean, Netflix wants to do that fight as part of their regular subscription, like they've done every other fight that they've shown. They're not doing it as a pay-per-view. At least I haven't heard that. I heard they want to do it like all the other fights they did. I heard that the reason they want to do it in America, though, is because a lot of their subscribers, they have a lot of subscribers in the United States, likely more than they have in the United Kingdom, which is a smaller area. But I think they're misreading the statistics. That, listen, you do this fight in the UK, you're going to get an uptick of subscribers that night. It's probably going to taper off afterwards, but you can use that to bolster subscriptions that month. You'll make money from it that month because this fight just doesn't mean as much to the Americans as it does to the Brits. It doesn't make sense to use this fight to cater to an American audience. And the only reason I think they would come to a conclusion like that is you guys just don't understand boxing. You're thinking, oh, this is a big boxing match that all the big boxing fans want to see. But it's like, nah, the Americans ain't pressed about that fight. The Brits, they'll watch it. You'll get millions and millions of views in Britain alone for that fight. But if you do it in America at the ass crack of dawn to the main audience that wants to see it, I don't know, dog. Wonder Woman. It would be hilarious if the Ali Act shills turn around and start defending Samson and King if it ends up getting. Yeah, but I mean, you know that those people are unscrupulous. They're not actually. Those people are unscrupulous. They're not actually arguing in favor of the fighters. Like I kind of said this a couple of times already, that the people you see talking up the Ali Act, they don't actually care about corruption because there's been plenty of that going around Ali Act and all. There's still been corruption in the sport. And y'all didn't decide to start caring about any of it until Dana White came in. Oh, now you got to stop and the fighters and we got to protect them, when there's been plenty of shit going on that was pretty corrupt and y'all didn't say boo about it. So it's not really about corruption so much as whose corruption we're talking about, because a lot of this stuff is out in the open. For everybody to all of a sudden become an activist, it's not about, oh yeah, we want to keep the sport clean and no. You just don't like Dana White, and the worst thing is you don't like Dana White not because of anything you know, but because somebody told you not to like him. You don't know nothing about that dude. You be real. You just know what you were told, not what you looked up yourself, not what you investigated. Because for as much as these people are on the internet, it's not like they're doing any fucking research. They're just talking to each other and agreeing with each other and formulating an opinion off of opinions, off of opinions, and off of opinions. I'm not telling you Dana White is a saint. I'm telling you that where boxing is, boxing might need that whip. Yeah, it might need a guy who can crack the whip, because, and I keep stressing this, Ben Shalom was already going to lose the Sky Sports deal. Zuffa, no Zuffa, Turkey, no Turkey. He was already going to lose the Sky Sports deal. Queensbury was already going to lose TNT. Zuffa, no Zuffa, what? Yeah, they were already going to lose TNT. Everything that happened in America, to the PBC, to Top Rank, that was already going to happen. All these things were the direction that boxing was already going in. So we were always going to be here. You should be thankful that somehow, some way, they found a network that was willing to bring boxing back. Because without that, yeah, you actually would have a lot less to watch. You actually would. What it do, gentlemen?
What it do, Jules? I'm just sitting here going, all these Ali activists, like, well, why aren't they doing it? Because they don't even know who Noel McCallion even is.
Yeah,
let alone like care. They don't even know who he is. Oh,
so it's just the Greta Thunberg thing, you know, where it's like what they say about Greta and China, that here you are protesting climate change in Western countries when one of the biggest contributors to pollution is China. And we don't ever see you in China, Greta. We don't ever see you talk about China and how much they're polluting the atmosphere and all the waste product that they create. You just want to go to the countries that won't beat you up and lock you up.
Yep.
It's like that.
Their ass away, man. No problem.
They wouldn't They wouldn't put up with any of that. Like, yeah, little far-eyed girl. We're not gonna. You can't come over here disrupting shit, little far-eyed girl. We don't put up with that. This is not America, you know.
Jules, I will not allow you to get away with that. Greta Thunberg makes money. What do these assholes get out of it besides a little pat on the back and jerk off?
Fucking losers. Shout out to the Gooch. AJ Fury sells out in the US with 90% of women in the crowd. I think people would travel for the fight, Gooch, but the thing is, Netflix, their bread and butter and their skin in the game is not the gate receipts. It's not. Their skin in the game are the metrics. And I think that they just don't understand that boxing fans are not homogenous. Joshua versus Fury is a big fight in boxing, but it's not big in America. Is the problem. And I think that maybe Netflix doesn't understand that you do that fight in America, you're alienating the core audience that's going to watch it. The core audience is the Brits, not the Americans. You might be able to get 1 million Americans to watch it just because it's on Netflix. You might be able to, but the main people that want to see that are in Britain. So you have to accommodate them. They should not take a back seat to the Americans at all. And I think the reason they're confused about that is because, well, maybe you think boxing fans are all homogenous to where a big fight in boxing is a big fight. No. There are fights that mean something to Americans. There are fights that mean something to Australians. There are fights that mean something to Brits. And you have to do a fight where it makes the most money. Okay, that's Britain. It's not here. Who the fuck you think is pressed about that fight here? But we'll see, man. It'll be fucking... It really would be one of the most retarded things I've ever seen if that fight lands in New York. Like, what are y'all thinking, bro? What are y'all thinking?
They're not.
Drew, what'd it do?
Could it be, Jules, they just want... Netflix is just worried about the eyeballs? They don't give a fuck about the gate, right?
No, but that's the thing, Drew, that you're not going to get more eyeballs on that fight during an American time zone. You're not. Because the Brits, it'll be the crack of dawn over there. You'd get millions more people. You could still get the Americans that you're targeting in the afternoon. Any American who's interested in seeing that fight, they'll still be able to see it at the same time we always watch a British boxing match. But if you do that fight here in America during prime time hours for a boxing match, most of Britain is going to be asleep.
Yep.
So like, why?
Can I ask?
Good.
Is there a pinch of American exceptionalism where Dana and them like, fuck you guys, we want to bring this fight over here because we're taking over? Is there any of that?
I don't know, because I don't even know that Dana and them are the ones at the helm. You know what Eddie said? He said that they lied about being involved. I don't know if that's just him trying to say, like, are they involved or are they not involved? Because first and foremost, Drew, this is Netflix's fight. That's what they're saying. This is Netflix's fight. If it's Netflix's fight, well, that's separate from Sella and Turkey and all that shit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's separate. I mean, the only Netflix relationship they have with TKO is Monday Night Raw and the Royal Rumble, all them events. But it makes no sense to bring it in New York. But also, I just caught up on your relay. Ben Shalom with his doom and gloom and fucking revisionist history is hilarious. Fucking
bro, you
hilarious.
can understand him through all the
because honest to God, Jason, he's really doing the Greta Thunberg thing. And the reason I keep bringing her up is here you have someone who's professionally outraged. That's literally your job. Your job is to find things to be mad about. That's what she does. Okay, that's what you're doing, Ben. Because Zuffa doing shows in the UK is not a monopoly. How is that a monopoly? They haven't taken over that whole market. They're just doing shows over there. You're just threatened by them because you know they're going to do what you did, but with more money. When you went to all those matchroom fighters, Lawrence Okoli, Joshua Buatsi, Natasha Jonas, Savannah Marshall, Chris Billum-Smith, Richard Riakporhe, how did you get them to go to Boxer? You offered them more money. Okay, that's what Zuffa's going to do. And you know that. So this is not, oh, yeah, we got to protect the next generation of fighters and all this bullshit that he says. It's not that. It's that you're scared. You're about to get a taste of your own medicine. That's all it is.
And the fucking hypocrisy was this, Jules, where he's like, they're just trying to increase shareholder value. And he's like, damn the shareholders, the fight. And then he caught himself like, Ben Shalom. Who the fuck is the network in this? They're a fucking shareholder. You don't want to make them money?
And that's why you don't have it. I wish I would have put that in the video because, the video was running a bit long. I covered a lot of things, but I wish I would have that Ben, that's why you don't have a Sky Sports deal anymore. Fuck the shareholders, really? They're the ones who gave you the money to pay the fighters to do the shows. Sky Sports was the shareholder. In this situation, the broadcaster is the shareholder because it's their money you're using. It's their money you need. And what are you saying? Oh, yeah, fuck them because it's all about the fighters. Well, that's why you're not on Sky anymore, bro. That's why. It cannot
When
sustain,
I heard
Drew.
that, Jules, I was like, I'm like, did he really just say that?
Well, it's the popular thing to act like you're fighting for something noble. You know what I mean? Because that's how the Ali activists are. Like, they act like they're fighting for something noble. You fucking idiots don't know what you're fighting for. Boxing is still corrupt in a motherfucker. Yo, even if the mafia left boxing, the WBC is the new mafia. The WBA is the new mafia. They're doing the same shit. There's still coercion going on. When they up and decide, when they hear that Noel is negotiating a fight with somebody, and they out the clear blue sky decide to order him to fight somebody else's champion, what do you think that is? That's coercion. And that they did it with other promoters to help other promoters, not only is that coercion, that's collusion. You're trying to create an unfair marketplace by getting together against one person. That's collusion.
Who almost bankrupt the WBC because they took the title from him and gave it to Roy Jones?
Who is Ben? What it do,
What up,
Ben?
man? What's up? It's Aladdin. Sorry, I don't know why the.
Oh shit! I didn't know that was you, bro. What's good? What's good? Shit.
No,
I
yeah.
get sometimes I get randoms and I gotta check who they are. What it do, Aladdin? What it do?
Yeah.
But
What's up,
But
man?
what sort of got lost? What sort of got lost in the last 15 years of boxing is, I know this doesn't. I know that this is gonna sound very managerial of me, but yes, you have to look out for your broadcast partner because that's where the money's coming from. They're actually more important, and people aren't going to like this. They are actually a lot more important than the fighters. Yeah, because without them, the fighters won't have anywhere to fight. There's no shortage of fighters anywhere on earth. There's no shortage of boxers, but there is a shortage of networks that show boxing. There's a shortage of networks that are putting money in boxing, and you need them more than Keyshawn needs $5 million.
Jules,
Yeah.
you talked about it yesterday. There are only 4 fighters who are irreplaceable, and 2 of them are heavyweights fighting each other on Netflix.
Exactly.
And one's almost retired, and the other's getting close to retirement. The rest you can be replaced by some Argentinian dude.
Honestly, like it's just reached the point where people. I think the prevailing theme of this era that we're in, not just in boxing, but also outside of boxing, is a lot of these people want something for nothing. You want the money, but you don't want to keep an active schedule. A lot of you young guys don't even want to fight 3 times a year, but then expect to be paid as if you're like super popular when you don't fight often enough to do that. Eno had fought, 5 times in 14 months, I think it was?
Yep.
He fought like 5 times, and he doesn't even have to fight that much. But that dude fought 5 times. Keyshawn, we struggling to get you out 2 times a year. We struggling.
Fought 5 times and made over $60 million.
Nah, and they want to get mad at him. They want to attack him. And in this, especially among Americans, which is what I stress, they just want something for nothing. In the video I did, I talked about how to get Keyshawn Davis $5 million. You would have to be pricing the Haney fight at $20 million, and that's just $20 million to them. That's not counting promotion, undercard, production. There's the whole. It's not just $20 million flat.
No.
So to get and you got people that your Top Rank should have get. Yo, do you understand? That's not a $20 million fight. You don't do that fight and sell 300,000 pay-per-view buys. I don't think you sell 150,000 pay-per-view buys with that fight.
If they try to do it according to the way those people said, that would be a flop, and they would lose a shit ton of money. And them dudes would not cover it or draw it at all.
No, in country, and that's what happens when you get a lot of people that don't know a lot but talk a lot, because that's like this is not complicated. If you've ever nickel and dimed or ran any kind of business of any kind, you'll understand. They can't give him 5. If they give him 5, the fight is 20 million. Y'all would have to sell 333,000 to break even, not make money. Break even. And I don't even think they would break even with that, because like I said, that's just Keyshawn and Devin. That's not counting all this other shit you got to do. That's just Keyshawn and Devin at 20.
But
So-
these guys, like if you remember the Top Rank, that deal, remember they offered Shakur 5 fights, $3 million a pop, and then Shakur didn't want it. Other people overpaid. He bounced from them. Now he's with Zuffa. But that's like to your point. It's not good business at the end of the day. So to your point, like, because I was at ESPN, I'm with ESPN, but like that whole network thing, obviously they wanted Shakur to stay. They wanted it, but they weren't happy at the end of the day, towards the end, with what Top Rank had at the end. So like when that deal first started, Ring, I think it was, you had Terrence Crawford, you had a young Navarrete. All the guys they had now were young up and comers, but you had Loma, prime Loma, all the way down from you had Fury, who was still fighting in the States. So when ESPN at the end looked at it, it was like, all right, well, what do you have? And what is it making? They were just like, well, this is not in the cards for us right now, until there's like a massive, what you've been saying forever. So there's a massive market reset. It's not worth it for them. So
No, it's not, because a lot of the practices, I don't think Top Rank would have done that business that way, because people don't seem to get that exclusivity deals like what you've been seeing and these huge guarantees, that's a part of the downfall of boxing in America. Why did Top Rank guarantee Crawford $3 million plus with incentives? Why did they also guarantee that to Shakur? To make sure they wouldn't leave. That's why. Now, why did they have to make sure they wouldn't leave? Because of Al Heyman's PBC and the $500 million from Waddle and Reed. That's what that caused all of this. You can pinpoint the moment that boxing starts to decline in America to the inception of the PBC and the cash injection of $500 million that Al Heyman fucked off on pure bullshit. You paid Danny 1.5 to fight Ross Salka, El Maestro, Robert Guerrero. Fuck it. And he's getting, and those fights, like, I know that Danny Garcia in the era before that doesn't touch $1 million. I know he wouldn't. In the era before, if he would have been fighting in the era before that, Danny Garcia is a $700,000 fighter at best.
How about
At best.
remember I told you this a while ago, this was during the bubble when Top Rank was trying to recruit Boots, and they were going to offer him, I think it was like 1.5. It was somewhere between, don't quote me, but it was somewhere between 1 and 1.5. And at the end, they were like, we'll up it to 2. And they were like, no, that's not enough. And it was like, bro, who are you fighting?
Never even mind, because it's really not who you're fighting. It's what are you selling?
Yeah, that's true.
That's what it really is. That's what it's always been. And the moment that the industry started getting away from that, bro, what do you sell?
Yeah.
What do you sell? What do you do at a gate? That we should give you in excess of that. And that's what boxing needs to get back to. I don't know that it's going to, Ben, because really, like, even Zuffa's overpaying fighters. It's established.
Yeah.
They're paying Johnny Fisher 6 times his highest purse. Robert Garcia said that they're paying some of his young guys 3 times more than they've ever made. So I don't even know that Zuffa is the solution to this problem, because the main problem is market inflation. When you see that boxing is too expensive for regular Joes, when you see that everything is a pay-per-view, now it's basically 2 to 3 pay-per-views a month. There's 2 this month. Teofimo and Rolly, Hrgovic and Atelma. I'm telling you that this as an industry cannot sustain that. Y'all are killing yourselves.
Yeah.
You are. You're killing yourselves. Zuffa don't got to do nothing to you.
Yeah. All these fights that you were mentioning, just the one, even like, remember the one I sent you, I was like, don't pay for this. The Spence one. Like, that's a pay-per-view.
Yo.
Not only was the worst part about it, not only was that a pay-per-view, but it was a feed. That was a world feed. So the people in America, you're paying. Not that people give a shit about production and all that, but you're literally paying a world fee. You're paying for a world fee. So less production, less elements, less whatever, less everything. It's like, good luck, man. That's what you want to do. Good luck. Good with
and
that
and it's
model.
and you know what it is? It's suicidal. They use this term a lot in the political sphere, but in boxing it still applies. This is what is called suicidal empathy. You guys care so much about the fighters, quote unquote, that you're killing the industry they're in.
Yeah.
You can't keep giving guys more money than they're worth because it has to come from somewhere. And when it doesn't come, the industry dies. The whole thing collapses. The whole thing and everybody in it.
But Jules, here's where I think Gooch has a really big point when he says the promoters and all this have to push back and yada yada yada. Because I was just watching the ring show with Max Kellerman and whatnot, and they were like, which one would you rather see? Inoue Bam or Shakur Tank? Which do you think won?
Shakur Tank.
Shakur Tank. It's like the fight they know is going to stink between a guy who only fights when he has the advantage, Shakur, don't tell me he doesn't, that's what he does, and Tank Davis, who also does the same thing and hasn't fought in forever and is not considered a top 10 fighter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's more important than one of the few bona fide stars in a way having a fight with a top 3 pound for pound fighter.
No, I mean you also have to look at the medium, Jason, that the world is still acclimatizing to the background character in all of our lives, and that character is the internet. See, guys our age, me, Ben, Country. I don't know how old you are, Jason, but I'm going to assume you're in our age group.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, then you're in our age group. We grew up without an internet.
Yeah.
So when people said things, this is the important part. When something was in print or when people said things, it had meaning because it represented dollars. The difference now is the internet can lie to you. You can take a poll depending on the platform, and according to the poll, oh yeah, Shakur and Javante is bigger. Bigger with who? People that steal shit? Bigger with who? Who's it bigger with? People that steal shit. Oh, because if it's big with people that steal shit, you know where you can value that at? 0.
Yep.
Yeah, no lie. That's the truth.
I see American channels talk down the Japanese boxing scene, really just to talk down Inoue. But what I can see plain as day is those people pay. They pay to see that dude, and that is all that matters. They might be casuals. They might not know Sugar Ray Leonard from Sugar Ray Robinson from the sugar in their cupboard. They might not know shit about boxing, but the only thing that matters is that they pay. That's the only thing that matters. So for Americans to be sitting here on their fucking high horse, turning their nose up at every fucking thing, it's laughable. Like, dog, y'all don't even support American fighters. Fuck is you talking about?
Right.
How many of y'all bought Spence fights? Since y'all love Spence so much, I don't love him. I don't love him. Y'all love him. How many of y'all bought his fight?
Yeah.
Because y'all love him. How many of y'all gonna buy Rolly and Tio fight? Y'all know y'all gonna steal that shit. What I'm telling y'all is you need to be your own advocate. You shouldn't have to steal it. That's what I'm telling you. You shouldn't have to steal it. That should be part of your regular schedule. If you're paying like I am, $225 a year for DAZN, yeah, I shouldn't have to pay you again to see that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I gotta pay you again to see that. So then what the fuck you got for me? What, you Eye of the Tiger? That's what I get for my I get Eye of the Tiger and Dream Boxing in fucking Denmark. Fuck out of here, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though, what I was saying. It's like, until they put their foot down, like Gooch says, we're just going to see this. Like, Shakur and Tank have been fucking off, and they still want to give them chances. They still want to do this. They still want to give them money. Like, oh, my God.
I'll tell you a motherfucking thing before I pass it to Country. Shakur and Javante don't do a $32 million gate. You know how I know they don't do that? Canelo and Golovkin did what, 27? Canelo and Golovkin. That pay-per-view that they had, right? The first one, That was a million. I think that was 1.2 or 1.1. And remember, that was a big fight. That was a big. It was all anybody was talking about at the time. That fight was bigger then than Shakur and Gervonta is now. Yeah, absolutely. Because Golovkin was Listen, you could think that Shakur is A, B, C, and D, and he boxes and he's the Achilles of boxing. What I know, Golovkin was a bigger draw than him. Yeah, he sold out at Madison Square Garden, big room. He sold out in the West Coast. When they shipped him over to the UK to the O2, he sold out over there too. He's a bigger draw than Shakur by a lot. So him and Canelo, that was a bona fide super fight in terms of the revenue. Yeah. And they did 27 million at the gate. That was all they did, 27. I'm telling you, Gervonta and Shakur, y'all don't do that. No, you don't. Because you're only popular, and motherfucker don't gotta like it. It's the truth. You're only popular with a lot of guys that steal a lot of shit. It's the truth. Yeah. They talk about Gervonta being a draw because he sell 200,000 for 7 years. I literally told motherfuckers, yo, dog, you're not understanding that to the higher ups at Showtime, 200,000 pay-per-view buys is nothing because they have a base of 33 million at that time. And I know you'll know this, Aladdin. At that time, a couple of years ago, the subscribership on Showtime was in the neighborhood of 33 and 35 million. That's how many subscribers they had at one point. I know it's like now, forget it. But back then, they had about between 33 and 35. So use your thinking caps. Put them on. On a network that hosts 33 to 35 million people, you are regularly bringing in less than zero with these fights. And y'all keep thinking, yeah, yo, Gervonta, he's bringing in less than zero. I tell motherfuckers, listen, the smarter thing to have done with Gervonta's fights would have been to build them as regular fights on a Saturday night, because then you probably could have got 1 million people to watch, 2 million people to watch, and the higher ups at Showtime, right? Really Paramount, they would have said, yo, this is good. 2 million on a Saturday night on a premium cable network? This is great. But no, y'all was happy with 200 over here and 230. Now, I said, like, yo, this shit not going to last. Those are not good numbers. Don't believe the hype. If you want a network that has 35 million subscribers and all you bringing in is less than zero, yeah, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. It didn't work on Fox. They thought Aladdin. Oh, Spence did 360 with Mikey. Do you have any idea how many houses in this country Fox reaches? Do you think they seen 300? Do you think the people at Fox? Do you think Bill Wanger seen 360,000 and just didn't? No, 360. Yo, if we would have did this on, if this wasn't a pay-per-view, I promise you would have did 4 million or more that night.
Yeah,
but y'all are greedy. Yeah, but you're greedy. You took the short-term money over the long-term relationship. Your focus should not have been, I got to get Spence this money, or I got to make Spence a star. Your focus should have been, I want to stay friends with Fox.
Yeah,
I want to butter their bread. I want to make them, my focus is them. Nah, your focus was the fucking fighters, and that's how you lost Fox.
Bro, you are crushing it, because look, let me tell you, you remember when PBC first started, when they were on NBC? So they had NBC, they had Fox, they had CBS. They went away from all that. And that's where you have, even on like I'll tell you a sidebar story. I did this is years ago. I was doing Houston Texans versus Kansas City versus Houston Texans playoff game. Dog shit game, blowout. Like it was like 33-0. First kick of the game, run back for a touchdown. So on ESPN, our rating was like 7, which is good. 7 million is not bad, right? The dog shit game. We checked because we simulcasted with ABC, and again 33-0. ABC that week, they got 17 million people watching it on a dog shit game. That's to your point. Exactly what you're talking about. Like If you keep it on a regular network, good.
They didn't understand that when you're on a terrestrial network like Fox, Fox is massive. It is massive. Everybody has fucking Fox, especially at that. Everybody. I think things have changed now because conventional media, people are moving away from that to watch Instagram reels and TikToks. So things are a little different now. But at the time that they inked the Fox deal, that is a megaphone. That's what Fox is. It's a megaphone. Coast to coast, north to south, middle America to Farm Belt. Everybody has Fox.
Yeah.
What do? Yeah, let's put these fights behind a paywall so Spence could make, $1 million more dollars. Fucking geniuses over there. Like, you don't understand how. Do you not understand how popular these fighters could become? I'd have told them, listen, you chill the fuck out, Spence. You chill the fuck out.
Because to your point, though, even more magnified. So remember, quote unquote, super fight, the second time Fury and Wilder were fighting, Gottlieb. They were promoting that fight. So remember, that fight happened like right before COVID set in. But
February.
They were promoting it on ESPN. They were promoting it on Fox. They were promoting it everywhere. And what did they do? They made it a pay-per-view. If they had not done that, it could have been one of the biggest fights, because remember, everything was starting to shut down at that point. Like, we knew, I think COVID actually happened maybe the next week, because I remember I was going to do Corey Stevenson and Mick Conlon. They were going to fight each other, but they were going to fight in the Garden. There was going to be a Saturday night fight and then a Tuesday night for St. Patty's Day, and they shut them down. But Wilder Fury, to your point, the week before, they were like, "Oh, should we do this?" And then they ended up making it a pay-per-view. And I could not imagine what it would have done, because the cat. We all don't like those guys, but like the casual.
I could tell you. I could tell you. Yo, dog. I could tell you. I know. I would put the number on ESPN for that fight. I would put the number. Remember, Crawford did close to 3 million with Jose Benavidez. He did close to 3 million in 2018. If you would have did Wilder and Fury 2 on ESPN, no paywall, I would put the number at 5 to 6 million. That's just on ESPN, bro. 5 to 6. No, wait a minute. Couple the 5 to 6 on ESPN with all the other motherfuckers on Fox. You looking at a fight that could have got 10 million people to watch it. And here's where they fucked up at. You overshot the operational costs. The combined purses for the first fight only came up to 7 million. That's all it came, 7 million. Good number, by the way. They actually made money with that because the operational costs were low. Where you fucked up at, let's give him 25 now. Him 25. Like, yo, dude, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
I got 2 questions / points for you guys. One, who do you see coming along that would actually crack down on the shit that we're talking about? Because I don't see anybody, even promoters or whatever, I just don't see anybody really doing that, number one. Number two, I'm grateful for Turkey. Yes, he brought us a lot of fights, but I'm kind of got mixed feelings now because of what we're talking about. He did contribute to overpaying fighters so we could get the fights that we wanted to see. In the short term, it was great, but how has it affected it in the long term? And is it causing a problem down the line in the long term?
Well, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. It absolutely is, because he's conflating the problem. Well, I mean, he's compounding the problem. Like, everybody is really like, DAZN is doing it too, because nobody wants to keep their ducks in order. Everybody's afraid to be the bad guy. That's really what it is, country. Everybody's afraid to be the bad guy when they say, no, we're not paying you that. Oh, you want to sit on the bench. We're not paying you that because you're not worth that. They don't want to be remember when Bob said, I could have built 3 houses in Beverly Hills with what I lost on Crawford. Yeah. Remember that?
Yep.
They crucified Bob for telling the truth. Like
Yeah.
that's the truth.
Yeah.
Nobody bought the Brook fight. Nobody. It's the truth. Nobody bought the Khan fight. It's the truth. For telling the truth, they're gonna vilify you. They're like, yo, dog, I'm sorry, Teofimo, you not worth that. I'm sorry, Shakur, you not worth that.
Ring. The Brook one was free, but I think you meant the Porter one. Nobody bought the Porter fight.
Oh, the Porter one, nobody
Nobody
because
bought
that was a pay-per-view, yeah.
And country, to answer your question, like speaking on the side I know of, so ESPN was trying. They wanted to do with Top Rank and everyone else after a while, like, hey, we want to do all the fights. We just want to put them on TV, regular ass ESPN.
Yeah, that's a point I was going to make, is that they need to go back to TV.
But the problem was a couple things. One, the fans are stupid as shit. Ring used to, like, I didn't understand how stupid the fans are. I truly didn't, because I'm on the TV side, so I had no clue. Like, I have motherfuckers telling me what a Tank Davis ratings was when I know on the contract, if it doesn't hit this number, I don't get the X amount of cameras the next fight. Like, I'm like, wait, what? You're telling me? Anyway, whatever. But so ESPN tried to do that. The fans, like, were adamantly against it, like pay-per-view, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, wait, we're trying to help you out. Like, we want free boxing for everybody. And this time on one network. And then, like, I know on our side, you got to get an executive to buy in. You just do. Until we get, like, some executive who's like, I want to go back to the days of my childhood when I could watch whatever it was on regular ass ABC. I forget there's been some great fights. Just
Wild
on
World
regular
of
ass
Sports,
TV.
maybe, or
On the Wild World of Sports, stuff like that. Like, just
or
until
even
you get
Tuesday night
that-
fights. You know, I mean, there was a lot
until
of
you
different.
get that, you're not going to. I mean, I just don't see it.
And you're not gonna get an executive to buy in because right now boxing is a loss leader. Right now
correct.
it is. You
Yeah.
can't make. There's no way to make money from this shit. Like there isn't. Now if it's me, like the only way in this climate I could see you maybe wrangling this thing, I would go to Zanfer. And I would want a pipeline direct to America from Mexico of Mexican fighters. Why? Because we can get them to fight at an affordable price. We can't get the Americans to do any fucking thing without 2, 3, 4. Like, yeah, they won't do it. They won't do it. So you get a pipeline. That's Ignacio getting yelled at. You get a pipeline of Mexicans, of Argentinians, of just fighters in Central and South America to put on affordable boxing on terrestrial television. That's the only way to do it, because if you're talking about Americans, especially ones out of the amateurs for going into the Olympics, yeah, they're going to want 2-3 million out the gate, and it's not. I'm telling you, it's not. Keyshawn is not. It's going to sound what it sound like. That's not $1 million fighter.
No.
How do I know? Do you do $1 million at the gate? Nah, right? You do a few $100,000 in Norfolk. That's what you do. You do a few $100,000. That's what you and that's, you sold 10,000 tickets, but that wasn't $1 million gate. It wasn't.
No.
Boots and Stanionis in Atlantic City, right? That was a $2 million gate. So Boots could talk some shit because he did a $2 million gate in Atlantic City. You are a few $100,000 in Norfolk. Diego Pacheco, 100,000 at the gate over there on the West Coast. But what did he get? $500,000. Well, I'm telling you, that kind of math, you never going to make money.
Yeah,
And if you can't make money, why would an executive buy in? Like, yeah, let me have these fighters barking at me for more money that they can't generate. Nah, of course. Look, fucking PBC has been a free agent for 2 years because Prime don't give a fuck about y'all. They don't give a shit about y'all. You talk to whoever the fuck you want to talk to. Nobody wanted y'all. I love Top Rank, but like I said, since the summer of last year, I was hoping that Discovery would pick them up. Peacock, nah. Because boxing don't represent value to the networks no more. It used to, but to the networks, not like, well, we going to give you 50 mil or 90 mil a year to be losing money. Money.
So what I'm hearing is we need to bring back mob rule and slave contracts.
I said
I'm
that
all
we
for
need
that.
to bring. I said we need to bring the mob back. Shout out to Misael. Dana will let them take a pay cut when Turkey leaves. Yeah, because look, It's not about liking Dana White. It's not. It's just about leading by example. Dana does not let the UFC guys rule him. Dana does not care about being a bad guy. I'm going to make sure my UFC, not just Dana either, because, he's got other people over there that actually are in charge now. My understanding is he don't even have the same power that he used to over there at the UFC, but that's not the point. The people that are in charge over there ensure that the business consistently stays in the black. Because if it doesn't, there won't be a business. There won't be a business. You understand? So if that means, we got to be the bad guy, that means that Sean Strickland doesn't get a cock ring for Christmas. That means that Tom Aspinall, he don't get if that's the fuck that mean, well, that's what the fuck that mean, bro. Because we can't go bankrupt.
And the worst part is, Jules, as like we keep fucking saying, they're getting lowball. They're only getting $1 million. Fuck you. You know what I can do with $1 million?
I know.
Dog, listen, dog, I would flood these streets with cocaine. Don't give me $1 million.
Hey, Aladdin,
Don't give me $1 million,
I got a question
bro.
for you. Because you're in the industry, what's your opinion on Pro Box? I like them. These guys tease me and call me a shell because I like them. But they kind of are, to me, are very reminiscent of the old Tuesday night fights, or know.
I think you need stuff like that. Like, because I used to work on the Friday night fights, so I have
that
a
too.
soft spot for the ones that have showing the up and coming prospects. Because to be honest with you, as Ring had told me before, like we're showing a lot of guys as prospects coming up. Like we shouldn't have seen Mason as many times as we did coming up. We saw like same thing with Shakur, same thing with like. I remember as a kid, Ring, sorry to make myself feel old as shit, but like we didn't know like you until you were like 17, 18, 19 fights in. They would be like, remember, even you guys remember, like even if HBO had a hot prospect, they might show like a 30-second clip of somebody on the show. Hey, we have this up and coming prospect and look for him in KO Nation. Like, wait, Ring, you remember KO Nation?
Or Boxing After Dark.
Bro, listen.
I missed that.
Think about it. Think about it, Aladdin. How much money they're fucking off. They're putting a guy, silver medalist, bronze, whatever the fuck he did, right? Yeah. And he's like 2-0, fighting fucking Boxcar Joe. On the main
brother.
Obo Willie?
And he's fighting Boxcar Joe on the main card. And they're giving these guys, fucking, like, I could see 500,000. I could see something like that. But they're giving these guys like, close to $1 million out of the amateurs and into the pros. So you start off fucking off money. That's where it's at. Like, to get, because the next Olympics, there's going to be kids that are coming out of those amateurs. And the market is competitive. So there's going to be a bidding war for the next hot British prospect or the next American prospect, a good one, if we can produce one. And that's the problem. There's too much market inflation. You can't make money off these guys like you used to because you have to pay them so much just to get them. Just to get them to do anything.
And then the fighters get prima donnas anyway. Because, again, who did they bring in for Shakur's big fight? Rotisserie, Robeisy Ramirez, the guy who beat him in the gold for the gold.
And they didn't even fucking fight him. And they didn't even fucking fight. Fucking Keyshawn got beat fucking 5 times by the same Cuban with the same bad haircut. And we didn't get the fight. We didn't. This is the shit. And look, it's going to sound wrong. But I don't believe that fighters should have this much say so. Because if you leave it to somebody, they're never going to want a hard day at the office. But you need hard days at the office. If you leave it to the entry-level employees, they're never going to want to work hard. You have to make them do that. And that's the problem with today's boxing. This fighter first, homo shit. The fighters, oh my God. Yo, dog, they are not soldiers. They're not police. They not sacrificing nothing for me. They doing that for their bank account. So what I'm saying is, yo, dog, if you gonna cost $1 million, you better fight like it. You better fight. Motherfuckers better need to change their pants after your fight. How much? Because you cost too much money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
shit is crazy, bro. Shit is crazy. Somebody got to put. The other thing is this, though. Before I go smoke this cigarette, The other thing is, though, the market itself might cause the correction because even with what Turkey's doing, it's inevitable. Like, the more I keep thinking about it, Undefeated might have had a point. I didn't want to say that he was right because he's kind of gay, but
Kind of gay after yesterday. Let's have a
just
dick
a little
measuring
bit.
contest.
Just a little. No, shout out to North Dallas.
Just a little bit gay. Just a tip.
It's Southeast Dallas, sir.
Southeast Dallas, sir.
Yeah.
The thing is, he might have a point because look at what the zone is doing. Anybody with any kind of any iota of business sense could look at what they're doing and say, this is not sustainable at all. At all. There's no way you're making money from this. There's no way. And you just keep doing it. 2 pay-per-views that close together, neither one of them shits is gonna get bought. Tio and Rolly, fucking forget it. And you're sharing that one. And then Italma and Hergovic, a Brit and a Croatian. Really? Americans are gonna
around Christmas too, like around fucking Christmas.
And then Canelo and Billy.
Well, Canelo's he's not a loss. Canelo's gonna do what he does whenever he fights. He's gonna do what he does whenever he fights. The idea is you guys just keep repeating this shit, and I'm thinking, is the funding been pulled? Because this is what Fox was doing when they cut the budget for PBC. Everything ended up on pay-per-view. Ruiz versus Areola on pay-per-view. Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin on pay. Like, what the fuck? Like, and it's
On
because
New Year's Day. That's fucking horrible.
You see? And then with Showtime, it was the same thing. When the Showtime budget got cut, what did you start seeing? Everything was a pay-per-view after that. Benavidez Plant is a pay-per-view. Benavidez Andrade is a pay-per-view. Fucking none of Javante's fights should have been on pay-per-view except the Ryan Garcia fight. None of them shit should have been pay-per-views. Javante Davis versus Hector Luis Garcia. That's
The last fight on Showtime that was good that wasn't pay-per-view was the unification rematch, Charlo and Brian Castano.
Yeah, that was the last one. Now I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. Y'all take it away.
All right, fellas.
No, the only show Davis did, Tank, that was worth putting on pay-per-view was the Garcia fight. Was it?
Tank Davis.
Hector Luis Garcia?
Tank Davis.
Yeah.
Hector Luis Garcia?
Ryan
Garcia. But Ryan brought a lot of that in, though, right? It's just like,
yeah.
I love that people throw the Earl Spence, his big number was Mikey Garcia, but I'm pretty sure Mikey Garcia brought most of those fans in. Yeah.
Well, I'm not a Spence fan, but I can tell you this: when I saw him fight Porter at the Staples Center, he had a lot of people show out for him. So he did have a legit fan base.
Yeah, but had he ever done those numbers that he did before the Mikey Garcia fight?
Well, yeah, I don't know if he did or not, but I'm just saying though that
not before since he did do a big rating number fighting. I think it was Kell Brook. Who did he fight? Like piggybacking off the Olympics.
Yeah, that one he did a big number, but that was
that wasn't Brooke because Brooke wasn't until later on.
Like in Staten Island. To your point though, that was piggybacking off the Olympics, so they were just like.
Oh, I remember that fucking fight. That's when he knocked out Leonard Bundu.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was These numbers, these pay-per-view numbers are wild, man. I just laugh being on the other side of it because
the same Leonard Bundu that took Keith one-time Thurman the distance.
and Aladdin, you would know better than us. Like even the numbers they put out are bullshit. Like I don't think you did 300,000 because it took how many weeks for us to get that number?
I can only imagine.
Jason, you're right, Jason. Like Jason, I forget the fight Tank just had like not too long ago. It was the one after Frank Martin. So I can tell you this, Jason, when he fought Frank Martin, they put out this big number. And so the company I was working with, as I told Ring this before, so I don't bore you guys, but like it was like, hey, if they do this amount of buys, they literally said if we do this amount of buys, 250 was the number. We're gonna get X amount of cameras for the next show. So like the next show, we were gonna add 4 more cameras because we had not only whatever, but we would have made a lot more money. And the guy literally was like, hey, not only did it not do 250, it didn't even do 200. So when that was at the time, I think what's the guy's name? Rick, who
So
everybody.
Glazer.
Rick
Yeah.
Lake,
So Rick had put out these numbers that weren't the same as Dan Rayfield. And I'm like, no, from the thing I know, Rick is way closer to the number. And I think Jules did he did a show on it, whatever he does, because I think Rick's numbers was like 140, Dan's was like 300. And I know for a fact it wasn't 250. It was well under 250 because the next show, they didn't add anything for us. They're like, no, it didn't. And we found that out. Jason, we found that out. That fight happened on a Saturday. I was told by Tuesday that they didn't do those numbers, which is why I laughed when they put those numbers out. Because even I think they were saying Spence. Here's the big thing, Jason. I'll tell you. So with ESPN, right? When we had Loma versus Haney, we actually put the numbers out. ESPN didn't. You didn't go to Top Rank, and Top Rank said, "Here's the numbers." ESPN put them out. If you ever notice, Showtime would never put those numbers out. They would say, hey, PBC is reporting blank, blah, 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 blank. So that's why I always like, hey, I don't know if these are real numbers. Just that's the way I would say, Jason, look at it where whoever is actually showing the fight and see if they put the numbers out or if it's the promoter. Because the promoter's numbers could be whatever. They'll tell you whatever.
All I know is that when Canelo fights, within 3 days, we know a number. When Inoue fought Junto, within a day, we knew 500,000 minimum. Like
exactly.
If it takes more than 2 or 3 days, it's full of shit.
Correct. Two Rings point, by the way, about the Wilder Fury fight. I forget because I was on the undercard part of it. The undercard actually had more people watching than the pay-per-view part did. Now, obviously, the pay-per-view, there was probably illegal streams, but the undercard, I forget the guy's name. He was a Don King fighter, but he fought on the undercard, and like when at the time his fight ended, it was like 980,000 views on that one. That's what was watching on ESPN. And then when they kicked it over to the pay-per-view, they said it was like 800,000 buys. And obviously there was more streaming and illegal stuff, but that was one thing I meant to say when Ring was here.
Jesus. Like, the pay-per-view stuff has to stop. It has to stop. It's not a pay-per-view sport.
It's not going to sustain forever. If they keep trying, it's going to collapse. Yeah. And then where the fuck is boxing in America? You know, I mean, come on.
And the crazy thing is,
where it is right now, a country in the fucking toilet.
And the crazy thing is, I see other sports doing this now. Like the NFL used to be on like everything. Now they're going to all these behind
streaming apps,
apps, this paywall, that paywall.
Jason, I think you need to have like, if you wanted to watch every game, you would have had to have like 8 different things now for the NFL, which it never used to be like that.
Even Pro Box is charging now. They're charging you like $5 or something.
No, and that's why the numbers just aren't what they used to be. Because before we didn't have as much to choose from. Luxury is killing the luxury of choice, if you even want to call it a luxury, is killing organized sports. Sports belong on terrestrial television. The problem is that terrestrial television is also being beat out by the internet. We talk about it all the time, Aladdin, that this younger generation, they don't really watch sports as much as we did when we were young. They watch Kai Cenat. They watch Mr. Beast. They watch iShow. They watch kids like them playing video games. They don't even play them. They watch other motherfuckers play the video. It's like, yo, this is the weirdest generation of it. Like, you gonna watch a motherfucker playing a video game?
Yeah, that's like whacked, man.
You gonna sit there for 3 hours? Like the Kai Cenat kid, he has like 48-hour live marathon. Like, how you gonna watch a motherfucker for 2 days? What the fuck is he fucking a bitch for 2 days? What the fuck are we watching, bro?
They wouldn't know about that. The other thing, like, they watch it different too. So like, how many times, like you know, so like when Ruddock fought Tyson, I think the second time was it Zuma Nelson and Phoenix stole it? I'm like this watching it. I'm literally like this. How many times will you watch it where you'll see a kid and they'll be like on the phone, they'll be watching the phone, or they can't. I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to go that way, but like I feel like there's something wrong with these kids where they can only process stuff with like 15-second snippets because that's what they're being taught.
No,
They're
they've been no. We could go that way because I have that. I have see where you know why all us old heads keep saying that because we come from a world before that, so we can see that it's deliberate. Whether it's TikTok or Instagram or the shorts on YouTube, they're conditioning these kids to where if it goes past 30 seconds, they stop listening. They stop listening. A TikTok reel, what is it? About 30 seconds. Stupid fucking dance and a bitch show her ass, and then on to the next reel. They don't have the attention span for long form content anymore. They really don't. And I think I personally think, yeah, it's deliberate. Somebody decided, yo, how do we brainwash this younger generation? Let's give them the attention span of a housefly. that's how we get them.
Yeah,
And it worked.
That's why they created shorts, man, and that's why we get flooded with shorts in our feeds on YouTube all the time so much.
How you gonna watch porn in 30 seconds, man? Come on, we gotta.
Well,
Yeah,
some of these kids probably can only last that long, so you know.
Yeah, I've done that in real life. 30 seconds.
Really, I don't believe in premature ejaculation. When I come, it's right on time. Oh, what? You haven't come yet, bitch? Well, beat you.
An ejaculation is never late, Mr. Frodo. It arrives precisely when it means to. Fucking Lord of the Rings, bro.
Jules, speaking of those bits, do you remember when they were having the big a problem with immigrants doing the touchy no for nurses in hospitals? So they released that stupid short. Stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no square.
Oh my God. And I heard the crazy. I heard the craziest thing that now Sweden. You got to take it with a pinch of salt because it was on the internet. Remember what I told you guys that Sweden must have been the experiment. It must have been ground zero for what they had planned for the rest of Europe. Because I remember the earliest reports of a European country, a safe European country, being overrun by migrants. It started in Sweden. I remember, I remember. And I didn't understand why they kept doing it, even though it was obviously a bad idea. So fast forward about 15 years of this shit or whatever. Now they're saying that Sweden is deporting motherfuckers and they're paying people to leave. Apparently Sweden has swung to the right. And now they're anti-immigration and they're deporting motherfuckers left and right. I was like, wow, I guess they finally had enough.
We woke up. Shit.
Yes.
Poland's sitting there going, took you long enough.
So they're racist, huh?
That's whatever they is, that's what they is. I don't know. I don't know.
It's racist because you don't want a bunch of motherfuckers in your country that are trying to take over and want to assimilate to your culture. Then fuck it, you know. Oh, shit.
It took them long enough. Look, man, it's not complicated. The crime rate shot up astronomically after they took in more migrants than they could control. It's just a common sense argument. You don't take in more people than you can care for, whether that's at a party or a sleepover. Yeah, you just don't take in more people than you can care for. But that's what they did, trying to be humane. That suicidal empathy shit that it's yo, I don't know what you guys were thinking,
Mm-hmm. Now, what happens, Jules? What happens with McHaley and WBC? I just saw the relay you did. I didn't get to watch it, though.
I mean, I don't know because I still interpret Zuffa revising the Revival Act as trying to smooth things over with the alphabets. So I think there's a possibility that he might get to keep his title. I think there is a possibility he gets to keep it. If they can constitute email correspondence or text messages that show, yo, Don had communication with Zuffa, but he didn't tell us, that constitutes a breach, a violation of the Ali Act. And on that premise, they could take that to the WBC and say, look, they didn't talk to us. They didn't tell us that there was an offer on the table. We were not informed. We want to have our voluntary. We're entitled to our voluntary. Maybe Mauricio plays ball. Maybe he does. You got to go where the money is at the end of the day, and the money ain't with David. Nope. What the fuck y'all gonna make on David? The fuck y'all gonna make with him?
Hey, Jules, I got a question for you, though, man. Now, in regards to Raven Chapman, I mean, okay, we found out it was Dina Thorslund. She was sparring, and like you said, she hits hard. She fucked her up. Because she's in a coma, and, obviously she had some sort of brain bleed or something. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's going to be the end of her career over that?
Possibly. because that has ended. The thing is, that has ended careers before. The Mexican girl that went to Scotland and fought Hannah Rankin. Remember, she had a brain bleed. She had to stay over there for a minute before they even let her go home. Her career ended off of that. It was over for that. On the other foot, Luis Lopez had a brain bleed after the Angelo Leo fight, but he's still
fighting in a month.
Yeah, it's hard to say. What I'll say is I don't know, country. I don't know, but I get the impression that her situation was not as severe because they took her off the meds, the sedation. They took her off pretty quick. Whereas with in other situations, just like this one, what I've seen is, yeah, they was under for a minute, couple of days or something like that. With Raven, it looks like they were able to get to her quickly, and they said it when the news broke. They said it that they already took her off the sedatives. They treated the swelling successfully, they controlled the bleeding successfully, and they sedated her and then took her off that real quick. So I got a feeling she's gonna be okay. I don't think she's gonna box this fucking year though, but I think she's gonna be okay. I do.
Fi says that some brain bleeds, they actually need to cut a hole in the skull to relieve the pressure. He said it happened to a good friend of his. That's wild, man. Can you imagine that?
Ugh.
But I just based on how just based on the speed at which they were able to treat her, I get the impression she's going to be okay. I do. I think she's going to be okay. Whether or not she fights again is something else. But like I said, Luis Lopez is fighting. You seen what Angelo did to him. You remember that fight, and he's fighting, bro. He been fighting is the other thing. It ain't like he just coming back. He been fighting. I was shocked. Like Luis Lopez still fighting.
Nah, Jules, he took time off though. He did after the Leo fight. He didn't fight for like a solid 7-8 months before he came back.
Yeah, but how is that different from your normal boxing schedule, bro? Look, Keyshawn don't got a brain bleed. When's the last time not Keyshawn, but Rolly don't got a brain bleed, and that motherfucker ain't fought in a year.
Well, Rolly doesn't have a
In
brain.
a year and 3 months.
Fucking Keith Thurman used to take three-year vacations and shit.
Word, like he don't. Maybe his ass is bleeding or something that he keep taking all this time. Oh, like you don't got a brain bleed. Maybe his ass is bleeding.
Well, he's seriously taking a real chance with that because I mean, if he's got any weakened blood cells up in there, and he gets hit, he literally.
What I said yesterday too, country, that I've never heard of somebody getting an injury like that just from a sparring session. I never. Well, you usually hear about it in a fight.
She could have had a condition though and didn't know she had it.
Maybe
that is no. It's very true. It's very true. People have. There's this thing. It's called the angiomas cavernoma. Okay, and they had traced it to They traced it to a family in New Mexico in the mid 1600s, but they also traced it in other parts of the world in different people. And it could be on your brain, it could be on your spine, and you don't know you have it. And what happens is it's a cave-like malformation of blood cells, and they clump together. When they clump together, the cell walls weaken. If they weaken, it pops, and you get a brain bleed. And now, if yours is in your brain, like on your cerebellum or somewhere like that, there's no room for the blood. So what it does when it pops, it causes you to have a hemorrhagic stroke.
This motherfucker sound like House and shit.
And it could kill you.
Well, he's Dr. Condo. That's Dr. House. He's Dr. Condo. Drew is Dr. Apartment. Right?
I mean, it's
Condo.
I'm Dr. Whorehouse.
They even had a newspaper article about it in New Mexico, and it was talking about what's killing New Mexico residents, and it was people who had that and didn't know, and they'd have a brain bleed, end up having a stroke, and the stroke would take them out.
And I would agree with you, country, except for the line of work that she's in. You see, it looks like she's been working as a professional sparring partner while trying to come back. And, I don't know how much time is passing from one sparring session to another. I don't know how many people you're sparring, in other words. So because of the line of work she's in, it doesn't necessarily have to be that, the cavernoma thing. It's just, you get hit for a living. You get punched in the face for a living. that by itself is already going to put you, you know, in a certain bracket. That you don't gotta have the cavernoma thing to end up with a brain bleed. Not when you get punched in the face.
No,
as
not
a 9 to
necessarily,
5.
but I mean that's one thing that could be a condition that she had and didn't know she had it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that
And
could
then
be
the
country,
sparring
but at
the
the same
sparring-
time, it's like in professional soccer. Would you think those guys are one of the leading sports for CTE?
No, yeah,
But they-
just because of the heads and all
just
that,
because,
right?
because they're constantly heading the football.
Yeah.
So I really think it's mostly profession. Like it could be country, it could be, but
Is there anything to be said about also to Ring's point, like just being a professional sparring partner and like so you're getting hit all the time and not clipped and knocked out? It's almost like, is it better for you to just get completely flattened? Like if you have like the UFC guys, are they as I don't know. Again, I don't know, but are they as
No, yeah, because everybody knows that sustained punishment is those sustained beatings, like you know, God bless the dead Maxim Dadashev, that was a sustained beating. Patrick Day, that was a sustained beating. The girl in Canada, Jeanette Zapata, that fought Marie Pierre Huel, that was another sustained beating. Now compare that Jeanette Zapata to the young girl that got knocked the fuck out recently. She got beat the fuck up recently, but she got knocked smooth out and she was able to fully recover. The young one, she's able to fully recover. It was bad for a little minute and then she fully recovered. She's back in the gym. I follow her on Instagram. She's back in the gym. Look like she want to keep fighting. It's probably better to get knocked smoothed out early in the fight than to take a sustained beating. Because it seems to be those sustained beatings that go for I mean, think about it. Boxing matches for the women 2 minutes, for the men 3 minutes. 3 minutes of getting punched in your fucking face is a lot. Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
And if it just goes and goes, it's like, yeah, I mean, Nick, you know, like Nick Blackwell when he fought Chris Eubanks, those sustained beatings, man. Those is the ones that fuck you up.
So it's safer to go out like Jen Sasaki, lose some memory and shit.
It's safer to go out like Amir Khan. I'm saying, like, you don't see Amir Khan's speech ain't slow because he go right out. His brain is like, all right, time to go to bed, yo.
so AJ's gonna be okay then?
Say it's better to get knocked smooth. Yo, his punch resistance. I mean, we don't even know, bro. I mean, we don't even know.
On it. I was dying, bro. Like it's bad. Is his punch resistance worse than Terry Norris after Julian Jackson? Because it's it's like that.
I mean, on one end, you say that whenever a guy who weighs 2 and change lands on you, it's gonna be hard just because the guy's 2 and change, bro. Right? Yeah. On one end, you say that, but on the other end, it's like, yo, dog. It seems like any little shot that hits you, you all over the place. That was the first round of that fight. That was the first round. I was like, yo, dog. Like he got in with a little old uppercut. And you hit the motherfucking deck. And we're heavy. Yo, your mic sound crazy. Yo, Virtuoso, your mic sound crazy, bro. You got to fix that shit. Your mic sound crazy. You sound like a Decepticon. I didn't understand. I don't know what you're saying.
Virtuoso, your mic is really choppy and bad, bro. We're not capping.
You sound like you're underwater, but
it's not capping.
Yeah. It sounds like he bathing with a toaster in there, like he in the bathtub with a toaster. Like that's how that shit sounds.
Come on, man. Come on.
I'm just saying, that shit sound crazy. Like, but his punch resistance is like, I don't know what's gonna happen with Fury. They just need to fight. Like, look, y'all just need to fight, and then after that, y'all should both. After that, y'all should both retire. There's nothing left to do. Yeah, just fight each other once or twice. And then go away. It's too many old guys hanging around. Manny trying to still fight motherfuckers. Floyd still trying to fight motherfuckers. Wilder's still out here. Chisora. It's like it's too many old motherfuckers. Like, yo, go fucking sit down.
It's kind of sad how they robbed the Brits of that fight. Like that shit is wild.
It is, bro. I can't believe this is a conversation that y'all want to do that in New York for who, dog? Not for the New Yorkers.
Netflix wants it on primetime, Jules. That's why.
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
want to broadcast a daytime fight.
Yeah, but the core audience, that's I said that at the beginning of the show, that the mistake that they might be making, this looks like y'all don't understand boxing, to where y'all think that boxing fans are homogenous and a big fight is a big fight to everybody. No, that's not really a big fight to Americans. You shouldn't do that here. If there are Americans interested in that fight, you do it in the UK. Primetime hours in the UK, which are afternoon hours in America. If there are any Americans interested in seeing it, they will. They can in the afternoon. But you shouldn't alienate the fucking Brit. Like, bro, this is their fight. This fight is for them.
This is wild.
That's fucking crazy. Like, this fight is for them. The fuck?
I said it like, imagine Bud versus Spence in Nottingham Stadium. Like, who the fuck is
Imagine them at imagine, bro, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney at the Tokyo Dome.
Ring, imagine Janabek versus Shiraz in Harlem.
right at the Beacon Theater, bro. Do it in the Beacon Theater. Like, what the fuck we doing?
That's the only thing that I'm pro Zuffa. The only thing that I don't like about them is that they're gonna turn it real corporate. Real corporate. You see it with the uniforms, black and white. It's not gonna be the same, but it's better than what we have right now.
Well, you're right about the corporate angle, but taking it the corporate angle, and we're like, I'm really thinking like 2-3 years from now, maybe even longer, maybe 5 years. The virtue of going corporate is you need to remind the executives at the networks that you can make money from boxing. You need to remind them of that. If these other promoters can keep their head above water, this is Eddie Hearn, this is George Warren, because Frank's getting old, George Warren, Todd Duboff, Ben Shalom, because the message that they have sent, to the networks and the executives is boxing is an insoluble business. That's why nobody wants to invest. That's the problem. You have made boxing seem like no matter what you do, this sport is a loss leader. We cannot make money from this. Whereas Dana coming in with the corporate approach might show people a way. No, you can make money. You got to crack the whip, but you can make money. And maybe in 5 years, I'm being really optimistic. Maybe that'll get people to invest in boxing, because right now, it's just two, bro. It's really just two. Paramount and DAZN, and that is insane, bro. It's just two. It's just them two.
Crazy.
And you can't like in America, it was kind of like that with HBO and Showtime for a good number of years, but it was different because they were investing and the business was fertile. Remember, Canelo and Cotto were not the best two guys at that time, but when they fought, 900,000 people bought it. Yeah. 900, and they weren't even the best guys. That's how good the business was. Almost 1 million people bought that fight. Whereas now, dog, you can't get 900,000 people to do shit. Like, no, you can't, bro. Ryan could fight Devin and Teofimo that night. They ain't gonna buy shit. Ain't not, bro. They not trying to get nothing now. Shit is crazy. So we'll see. And the thing about that they really don't like about Dana, and that's why they're so threatened by him. Yo, dog, he's not gonna let. Once the dust settles with all the turkey overspending, and you're really getting down to the infrastructure at Zuffa, it might be something like the UFC in the sense that no, you fighters are not bigger than the business, and I'm never gonna let you be bigger than the business. But maybe that's what boxing needs, because you can't make you. There's no way. Drew brought it up the other day. They gave Pacheco $500,000 as a purse, but the gate was only $100,000. How the fuck you gonna make money from that? You got to be in the hole to be in boxing. Essentially, yeah, you got to be in the red at least for a couple of years and cross your fingers and clench your asshole that maybe one day you can make the money back. It's never gonna work. It's never gonna work.
Also, unlike Al, Dana's not trying to pay money and be best friends for fighters like Charlo. I know for a fact he gave Charlo money not to fight. Top Rank offered him a deal, and he's like, "Here, I'll give you $600,000 for you not to fight." So that's the one thing I respect about Dana is he's a businessman first. He's not going to be your best friend. End of the day, like Jules had already said, keeping it in the black. Good porn. Keeping it in the black and that's what you need to do at the end of the day.
No, and that's why it's gonna sound like I'm being funny, but I'm not. When the mafia was running things in the sport of boxing, you at least had an overseer to ensure that business runs, that money gets made, because there's an incentive. Whereas now you got a bunch of guys, they trying to high five the fighters and go to the dog park with the fighters and be like, man, like, fuck out of here,
He
bro.
said go to the dog park.
This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy.
I mean, you
bro.
got Bylaws Brim that gets a Brian Norman signed T-shirt and goes to the mattresses for him.
Right, fucking Brian Norman high-fived him one time at the airport. He became the Brian Norman fan club guy. President of the Brian Norman fan club, bro.
I still haven't forgiven him for convincing us that he had a chance against Devin Haney. I'm still
shout out to SSS. Dana's got to find a loophole to launder. I see you, Brim. Dana's got to find a loophole to launder money at Zuffa, and boxing will start thriving again in America. Well, I'll give this to Dana. It's a real business that he's running. He doesn't have to launder money. Like, no, that's a real business. He runs a tight ship. The people at the UFC make sure it stays in the black. They make sure. If that's at the expense of a Tom Aspinall, oh, well, we're not going to go bankrupt trying to be nice to you. The fuck? Why would we do what decision making is there in that? And boxing needs to be the same way, because for the last 15 years, last 10 years, I'll say, last 10, 12 years, the inflation is out of control. Keyshawn is not really even $1 million fighter. What they're paying Devin, yeah, somebody needs to get thrown in jail for that shit. Haiti don't even, the country of Haiti don't even have that much money. They giving that fucking guy. It's crazy.
Yo, somebody got to get sentenced for that shit, man.
Shout out to the Gooch. When Turkey leaves, another jackass will overpay. We'll see, because another jackass may not have to. If you know, people are scared to be the bad guy. That's why you keep seeing guys, yeah, we got to think about the fighters. No, we got to think about the industry, because if there's no industry, there ain't no fucking fighters. Straight up.
Fuck the fighters. How many of them even have entertaining fucking fights? Fuck you.
I'm saying it's like an oxymoron. Like how you going to think about the fighters if their industry dies? Then who's going to pay? Who's going to pay any of them? The industry is in trouble. I said this yesterday. I don't think the people that watch boxing realize how much trouble this sport is in. It's in trouble.
People have been saying the sport has been dying since 1900. Right now, they may be right. For the first time in a century, they might be right.
Yeah, but you know the sad part is they got the key to actually fix it. You know.
Again.
The sad part is that the key. The sad part, country, is that the key to fix it, it's not even something that's complicated. It's not like you got to get the big chalkboard and do all the fucking math. You ever seen one of these things at the college campuses? You got, and it's huge chalkboard and it's all these algebraic equations. No, the fix is simple. Stop overspending. That's it. That's literally it. Stop overspending. What the fighter gets should be based on the value of the fight. And here's the kicker. Let's just say that the fight is valued at $5 million, right? Let's just say that, like, you versus him is a $5 million fight. You know what we're going to pay you two guys? $3 million. Why? Because we don't want to cut it close. We'll pay you $3 million. You'll have the opportunity to make the $5 million. We'll pay you $3 million, but we need to make money. Otherwise, why are we doing this? Who the fuck goes into business to lose money? Nobody, right? So yeah, you got to stop.
Nobody.
Fucking $8 million to Devin Haney for a fucking jab and grab. God only knows what they paying Shakur. One of the you got booed in Newark. That's crazy. You got booed in Newark. Where you from? That's crazy.
And then they got up and left.
People got up and left, bro.
Yeah, and when they got up, it was because of the racism that they got up and left, apparently, in Newark.
Hey, Floyd.
No, remember, Top Rank paid them to leave.
Yeah, we paid them to leave. Here's the other crazy part. I could have showed people leaving 3 rounds before I did. I waited between like rounds 9 and 10. Bro, people were leaving after the 7th round. It was wild, yo.
I'm gonna say that Floyd. You know, I used to defend Floyd a lot because I felt that people were having a go at him. But now I understand why so many. You know, these were industry people at that time that said that he did a lot of damage to the sport. And when I look at Shakur, I see that damage. Floyd is an anomaly. This is the kind of fighter that in the days of the mafia, they would have booed you, threw popcorn and tomatoes at you, and you wouldn't have got your purse that night because that's how you were fighting. But Floyd convinced a lot of people in this postmodern era that shit belongs on television. When I look at Shakur, I'm like, yo, this guy wouldn't have been on TV in the 80s. Nah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. They shouldn't liken any of you to, like, say, Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar fought. Sugar was a pure, but Sugar fought. That's the thing. Sugar fought. You guys, like a guy like Shakur, a guy like Devin, I'm telling you, them guys wouldn't have been on TV. Nah, because they're not watchable. Them guys would not have been on TV. No, they might have been, I don't know, on the non-televised portion. The only guy from back then that I saw that fights exactly like them was this guy that beat Duran. Was this guy? Kirkland Lang. Remember Kirkland Lang? He spent the whole fight running from Duran. Y'all remember that fight?
Yeah.
That's the only guy I remember. That's the only guy I seen that fought like that back then. And look, needless to say, Kirkland Lang was not like some huge fucking draw. Like he what you see, like he wasn't a big draw. Like, nah, he wasn't. You got one over. You got one over on Duran. Congratulations, but you don't see people sitting around the campfire with their dicks out talking about Kirkland Lang, right? Yeah, because people.
Nobody gives a fuck about him.
I'm saying, like, that's
traumatized Boy Scout, bro.
Damn.
Yo, that mic is crazy, bro. You gotta do something about that fucking mic, bro. It sound like he talking to us from the next fucking parallel universe or some shit. But like, yeah, you're not gonna see people sitting around talking about the great Kirkland Lang. It doesn't happen because people don't watch combat sports for that shit. It was this hipster gay shit movement that started in the last 10 years. Like, yeah, the finesse and the battle. Yeah, people don't watch combat sports for that shit. No. Most people don't. They watch that shit because they trying to see a motherfucker get fucked up on Saturday. That's it. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Who the fuck want to watch a fight where the motherfucker don't fight? Like, nah, because he did the pivot, and then he did the thing, and then he fainted, and he scratched his dick. Like, yeah, nobody's fucking watching this shit for that. What are you watching this shit for that, homie? Fuck out of here. And that's a part of the influence that Floyd had on the industry, that after which he made all the money that he made. Everybody started the search for the next Mayweather. So you're ending up with Hitchens on television, Stevenson on television, Lara on television. There was this British kid, Lerone Richards, one of the most boring. Like, it's like you started seeing more and more guys like that. I'm like, I don't remember any era of boxing where there were this many pure boxers, and it has everything to do with Floyd's influence on the industry. Everybody wanted to find the next Mayweather. It's like, yeah, boxing didn't actually need another Mayweather.
Yeah. Nobody was in a hurry to watch Paul Spadafora or Chris Bird fight.
You know what I'm saying?
Boxing got taken over by hipsters. Like, oh no, vinyl records sound so much better than CDs. Fuck off.
It's fucking hipster shit, bro. Trying to be fucking different and shit. It's like, nah, homie. Mayweather did his thing. Mayweather did his thing, and congratulations to him, right? Because he did do his thing, and he was good. He was good for the industry in the sense that he did generate a lot of money in his time, but after which he had an adverse effect on the industry. Like, yeah, you got all these boring ass guys running around. You got a bunch of young men trying to fight like they in their mid-30s and got hand problems. Because that's how y'all fighting. Yeah. Like, y'all got hand problems.
You got a bunch of guys who are trying to win.
Shakur does have hand problems, though.
Maybe yes, because he's fight like Floyd.
Yeah, listen, to be fair, I'm no Shakur backer like that, but just to be fair, he does have hand fucking problems.
So does
no. Listen, okay, he got fucking hand problems. He can't play handball in a handball court in the Bronx. That's fucking great. That's fucking great, bro. But then a guy, I'm just saying, Brim, and motherfucker not gonna like this. I'm just saying, Brim, a motherfucker that's boring and got hand problems, he shouldn't be making that much money because you can't justify it. It doesn't exist. What Turkey is giving you, that money does not exist in the boxing economy. Why? Because you don't generate that. Motherfuckers don't want to see you fight, Shakur. Yo, listen, he can never fight again. I wouldn't give a shit.
Jules, I want to tell you something. You said that people not going to like that. I'm sorry to tell you, but more than half of the boxing population probably agrees with you, or nor really gives a fuck enough about your core to even weigh in too much on it. And that's what I like. Ever since the De Los Santos fight, when it comes to Shakur, I just don't have that oomph. It just doesn't move me.
Honestly, Brim, and I think everybody on the panel feels this way. There is no Shakur Stevenson fight that gets my dick hard. It's like, nah, I gotta pop a pill to watch a Shakur Stevenson fight, bro. Like, yeah, I don't want to see him do nothing.
I mean, the Zepeda fight gave me a chub.
Yeah, but that was because of Zepeda.
Yeah, but this is where I gotta give you a little bit of pushback.
That's the thing. Like,
exactly.
That's why I'm not excited about him.
No, wait a minute, Virtuoso. I'm saying that Zepeda in his kitchen in his house in Mexico making a peanut butter sandwich is more entertaining than just Zepeda by himself frying chicken.
Like, putting up like sheet metal, to make a shanty house. I get it, but like,
that you could watch Zepeda paint an outhouse. And it's probably more entertaining than a Shakur Stevenson fight, bro.
Yeah, okay,
that's Zepeda.
But hold up, I gotta give y'all a little bit of pushback. I don't like defending Shakur, but this is where I have to be honest. You know how y'all was talking about people was walking out of the stadium when he was in Newark? Do you remember what fight that was? Yeah. That was the Artem fight. Was Shakur actually being an offensive fighter and bringing the fight to him? Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't give him. The thing is, understand that it's relative. I don't give him brownie points, extra cool points for coming forward and stepping to a guy when you know who else does that, Navarrete, and he doesn't make what you make, and it doesn't cost me. It doesn't cost me. It doesn't cost you, Brim. It doesn't cost us extra to watch him work. We just saw him in a unification fight, and he fucking dominated the guy, and it didn't cost anything extra. So when I look at Shakur, I'm like, yo, dog, like. Yo, he's a great fighter. I got him on a pound for pound. I'm not saying that he not. I'm saying the money is the problem. You getting paid like you're something that you're not. You're not a draw. People don't think you're entertaining. They don't.
Yeah. And lastly, to add to that, Jules, just wanted to add to that, and the reason why it adds so much validity to that is people would be like, well, why are you pocket watching? But at the end of the day, it's our money that's paying for these fights. And we're having to pay $80.
Like I ain't pocket watching for no reason. It's an adult conversation. When you have fighters, it's an adult conversation. If you have a fighter in a fight that's getting in the neighborhood, once you start hitting more than $2 million, because that's kind of where it's at right now. Once a fighter's purse is more than $2 million, let's call it 3 and better, and then the other guy's getting 2 or something like that. Okay, now we talking about a pay-per-view. That's why we're saying that you're paying this guy too much when you to me are a co-main event fighter. Watching you jab and feint and move and jab, that's for the co-main. That's not main event fighting. Yeah, the guys in the main event, that should be World War III fighting. Like, straight up.
Hey, Brim, one other thing real quick, because I remember the Artem fight doing it. We caught, so this is one thing I'll just share with y'all. We caught Shakur. So Shakur's walking back to the corner after like round 2 or 3. And he's like, he's done. I'm going to knock him out, right? So this is at that point when ESPN was like, do we want to invest in this shit again or not? And it just so happened that we had Tio. I forget Tio. I think it was Jermaine Ortiz. He had fought him earlier in the year, right? And we had all these execs there. And Tio went on, I don't know if y'all remember, but like, the post-fight interview was like a case study in how to basically, it sounds like Keyshawn Davis probably studied it too, to be bad business, because he threw, like, the Disney sponsor people walked away. He was like, no homo, calling people faggot, and then he was like, praise Jesus and all this. So people were like already really down on him.
That's crazy.
People backed off. When Shakur was like, I got him, he's done. So the execs kind of got excited. They're like, all right, maybe this guy is worth at the time, $3 million per fight that Top Rank was talking about trying to sign him, and then he couldn't finish up. And then people were leaving. When I tell you, people were leaving after the 7th round. I kid you not. It was just like that one round when we cut it in. There wasn't a camera that you couldn't show where you couldn't see people leaving. That's why we did it, because there were so many cameras you could not see people leave. So
that's sad.
You know why people were leaving though, right? Because they knew it was going to go 12-round decision, 4-going conclusion, no element of surprise, no excitement within the fight.
People leaving in your hometown. Can we at least agree?
Like, shout out to SSS. You think the Brits even watch Ryan Garcia on this? Ryan versus Garcia. Watch. Do you think
Ryan
the
versus
Brits
Garcia.
even on the zone
Hey,
would
drug
be
test
cheaper
that
to
guy.
would be cheaper to use a VPN to watch on Paramount or just stream it? Well, it's going to be on Paramount, so you don't really have to steal it. Like, it's not going to be a pay-per-view.
It's
to
$8.99.
To the point that Aladdin's making is that, look, it sounds harsh, but it's just the truth. It's not that way because I said it is. It's just the truth. People don't watch combat sports for that shit. Yeah. They watch it. They watch it for the guys like Navarrete. Yes, it's the truth. Why was Mike Tyson, the young phenom, such a fucking electrifying fighter? Because he beat the dog shit out of you, bro. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
Hey, can I address the elephant in the room? Because I was at that fight. I'm gonna just put it out there that a lot of those fans right there that were leaving are just casuals, right? Yeah. They're not boxing experts, but also they could be Tank fans. And these are people that are enthralled by knockouts. They want to see the ragdoll effect of somebody getting blown out by a punch. And Shakur is short on that department, so that's the way it is.
Yeah, but they don't get. Yeah, but we don't got to do that. They're Tank fans because they're in Newark, New Jersey. So if they showed up, they likely showed up to support the Newark guy.
Let me reiterate. I think they're viewers of Tank. They watch Tank's fights.
So you're saying that they did a fight in Newark. They did a fight in Newark, and it was the Tank fans that showed up.
No, what I meant to say is that I would say that they watch Tank also. Not that they're Tank fans per se, but they're boxing fans in general that watch, black fighters like him also. And so his name at that time was been linked to a fight that's never gonna happen, of course. And when that happens, it's like, yo, this is a big disappointment. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, but
let me say, I think it was a little bit more simple than that. I think it's, look, Shakur from Newark. He's fighting in Newark tonight. I'm going to go to the fight. I'm going to try to get some pussy. I think it's like that. Like, and then when you watching this shit, you like, yo, dog, I'm hungry. I need to get a chopped cheese. Yeah, we out.
They're trying to beat the traffic, man.
Yeah.
So Ring knows this because I sent them pictures. One, remember, this is the one where it wasn't even a sellout. Like, dumbass Carissa Shields is like, it's a sellout. I'm like, so Ring knows. I sent them pictures of the weigh-in. Bro, the weigh-in was open and free. And less than 150 people showed up. Now, come on, man. If you are that
speaking of which, you got the same problem.
Hey, I gotta give y'all some pushback.
Ring. You remember? I'm like, all these seats are blacked out.
Yeah.
That, like,
yeah.
That's your hometown. Like, you come on now. You gotta deliver in your hometown. Exactly.
Yo, I gotta give y'all some pushback. Y'all gonna hate this, but I really got to do it because, again, in part I agree with y'all, but I do think y'all are more harsh than the reality shows, and especially this is for Jules. I have issues with Clarissa Shields, but at the end of the day, there's only very few fighters that's at least on her level of notoriety, on her level of accomplishments, and on her level of fighting skills. Granted, she has a personality of, a dried snail. You know what I mean? I don't particularly like the way she communicates. But at the end of the day, when I'm looking at the grand scheme of everything, when it comes to women's boxing, she's in a decent spot. It ain't perfect, but it's a decent spot. That's the reason why you have her on your number 2 pound for pound, even though you don't like it.
But you're getting away from the argument. The argument with Clarissa is 2 arguments, none of which you're addressing. One, this woman is saying that she's the greatest woman of all times. That's what she's saying. No, you're not. You in the weakest divisions of your sport. It's easy, yo. It's easy for you to be undisputed 15 times when you in a division that only got 30 girls in it. We've had this conversation. It's
Yeah, I
30.
mean,
And I agree. And the thing is,
It's
I
30
agree with
girls.
you.
less than
Brim,
But the
it's
thing is,
30 girls in the whole world.
I
And
don't disagree with you.
no, and you
I
know
don't.
what's worse? Wait, and you know what's worse? She goes to heavyweight where there's like maybe 30 girls on the planet that fight in this division. She fights two, and gets fucking 4 belts. You fought 2 girls and got 4 belts. Were those 2 girls champion? No. That's how empty this shit is.
Okay,
You can't.
but listen,
You just.
as empty
You
as
just.
it is, just devil's advocate, Devin Haney got undisputed in one fight versus Cambosos. Yeah, it sucks in a sense. It does.
Yeah, and
It
how
doesn't
many?
have the same
Wait. No, but wait. And how many people actually? How many people actually fall out their seat over Devin being undisputed?
Very, very few. Other than the Devin night,
His dad.
Like you made my fucking point with that shit. If anything, like it's the point, bro. Like undisputed is dope. Like why everybody is on Usyk dick over his undisputed because of what he had to go through to get there. He had to go to all. It was like Street Fighter. He got to go to Latvia, then he got to go to Poland, then he got to go to Russia, then he got to go to Britain. It's like it's Street Fighter. Whereas Clarissa, you fought a girl 5'6", weighs 200 pounds, morbidly obese. Yeah, that. Come on, ma. Come on, ma.
All she gotta do is go to 8 Mile and fight some fucking lunch lady.
For real,
Bro,
like
she's fighting one, like, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Jules, the other 2 we talk about at that time, Crawford. What did he do? Well, they were clearly ducking the man, and when he finally got that fight, he beat the dog shit out of him. Goes to the biggest dog in the yard every single time.
That was a fucking Spence. The way he beat the shit out of people tell stories about shit like that, bro.
Dude.
Where were you?
it becomes legends. It becomes folklore.
Bro, he beat the A side out of him.
No, he beat the A and B side because he became a C side fighter.
He beat the motherfucking vodka out that motherfucker. Like Spence been sober ever since.
Yeah, that was big right there, bro.
I mean, yeah.
Beat the motherfucking Seagrams out that motherfucker. Like, God damn.
When you got passionate about talking about that, Clarissa, I heard that New York. You can't get that New York out of you to save your life when it comes down to it. Because you was like, come on, ma.
Because look, Clarissa, I rate her. I say, look, my opinions on Clarissa. She's a damn good fighter. I've never said she wasn't a good fighter. She's pound for pound. She's accomplished, but it is relative. You really are in some weak ass divisions. You are. It's not your fault. I never said it was. But you keep telling us that you the greatest woman that ever did it. Well, nah, I'm sorry, but no, you not. No, you not. Sorry. Great, though.
Okay, so here's the deal, though, Jules. I mean, it isn't an issue with her saying it. It's an issue with her having an issue with people saying it is not, that they don't believe that, right?
Now, here's another thing. Because this the other thing. Clarissa Shields saying that she's great was never my problem, believe it or not. It's still not my problem. You in your line of work, I know you got to say that. And yeah, you got to believe in yourself. That's how Ali was, right? He was calling himself the greatest before anybody ever agreed with him. That was never my problem. My problem is you always attack your contemporaries. That was my problem. You any woman that dares to say what you say, you think you got to get into a shouting match with them. So only you get to say you're great. Katie don't even say that shit. If other people say that shit, you get mad. If they say that about a man, you get mad. Nobody can shine around you. You a black fucking hole. You suck everybody in. You like, it's cool that you believe you're the best. You have to, but you gotta let other people shine too, though. It's cool. Of course you're gonna say you the best. That's your line of work. You're supposed to do that. But how you gonna get mad at other people that maybe they don't agree with you? I never seen Katie snap at nobody. Oh, I don't know. I'm not the best. I let the people decide. I never seen Katie get mad at nobody over that. I never seen a man to get mad at nobody over that.
Crabs in a bucket mentality, Jules.
For real, like I never seen none of these other women that were doing well. I never seen Cecilia Breakers get mad over it. all these women that have come and gone. The only one that acts like a fucking bear trap and tries to gatekeep opinions is Clarissa.
And you know what, the part that makes it kind of bad though is because she did come into the sport after her Olympic pedigree with a red carpet, so it ain't like she got it all the way out of the mud from the beginning of her professional career.
That's what I'm saying. That you know how many girls, even now there are girls debuting in the sport. They didn't debut on a premium cable network like she did with a deal in place. You're fighting on the same network as the PBC guys. You know, when she comes into Showtime was still doing really well. That was in 2016. You had the red carpet rolled out for you. But as soon as you don't get your way, if it's not the misogyny, it's the fucking racism. It's like, nah, ma, you just don't got it like that. You wanted to be on pay-per-view. They said no. Oh, so they must be racist. Okay, ma. Whatever you say.
Do you know how much of a raging bitch you have to be to make me take Keith Thurman's side in an argument?
To defend Rolly. Like, Rolly don't deserve that. You need to be doing that to Rolo. Rolo don't be bothering nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, she out of control, bro. But look, she got a fight coming up, Brim. You won't play devil's fucking advocate so fucking much, bro. Watch the fucking fight, bro. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette.
Fucking bus driver number 2.
Yo, Brim,
you gonna watch that fight, Brim? You gonna watch her beat up that 42-year-old?
He's checking bylaws.
Oh.
He's checking to make sure the check from Clarissa cleared.
Damn, yo, it's like that's another thing that like he hasn't inflated himself of worth, you know. And then it's like, yo, you don't really generate all that much money because I've seen her fights, and it's like they really have low attendance. That's why her fights end up in lower, like in smaller arenas. You know,
who's that? Carissa Shields.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and it's like, and she has the same problem as Shakur. She doesn't finish fights. I've seen fights end, you know, with Clarissa, but it's usually the referee waving it off. She don't knock nobody out.
Yeah,
you know.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the only fight she did good business with, the Savannah Marshall fight?
Yeah. You know, and she had, you know, there was an opportunity for her to do the rematch over there again because she was set to make more money, you know, as an A side, but she didn't understood that because she's so fucking dumb.
And I was funny too because she tried to, they would like tease MMA fight between the two after Savannah had her first fight, and you know she never really wanted to get in the ring with her in the first place. She had that first fight. And then, the fucking rematch, she kind of, like, never wanted it, you know. And that's the only good, like, pretty much big fight she had. I can't name you a big fight she had after that or before.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, the only other fight I can think of off the top of my head was the fight against, what's her name, Wolf?
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
That's it. And that was the unification fight.
I can't think of. Yeah,
I mean, she drew that line in the sand against MVP, so you know she shot herself in the foot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she missed out on the MVP shit, so she could, you know, I don't know what her deal was, but now she's
because of fucking Jake Paul, man. Like, he's hated his guts ever since. Like, he knocked out Nate Robinson. A fight that, you know, he decided, you know, Nate Robinson decided to take. And somehow this stupid bitch didn't fucking stop her from doing that. So why should you get mad at Jake Paul?
I heard y'all say my name when I was on my desk, right? And I couldn't talk. But I just wanted to bust somebody's chops because I heard somebody almost say she beat Ann Wolf. I heard somebody almost say Ann Wolf.
Yeah, I heard that.
Y'all.
Like, who the fuck said that?
I fucking heard you, motherfucker. He stopped himself before he said it.
He said Wolf. I said Ann, and I asked the question mark. I don't think he meant.
No, not Ann Wolf. Jeez, I can't.
I know. I'm being silly.
Was it Jason that said Wolf?
It was me. It was me.
I don't know anything about women's.
I mean, her own, outside of the Savannah Marshall fight, the only other fight that had any validity was a franchise inclusion. It still ain't the same. But numbers wise, though, for a female, she's probably third highest, person out of boxing. And we know who the other two are, and both of them are about to be done. I mean, because she is doing 10,000 consistently in her hometown. And at first, I was very, very crucial of this Atlanta card because they had all that bullshit influencers, but they did put real fights on the card because I know Osley's on this card as well. So they did put real fights on the card. So it kind of like made me taper down a little bit of my pop off on the card overall. Still not feeling the influencer goofy shit, but hey.
That new Solidity deal got to pay her what she's worth, even though she's not that much of a ticket seller. Otherwise, she would have been selling out the Little Caesar Arena, doing that consistently, and she has to get the fights, the big fights that she needs. The problem is they're all down there in the lower weight class where she can't get to.
Okay, but the thing is, though, she can get to 54, but here's the problem. See, Jules has presented this as well, and this is where she's in the catch-22. She goes down to 154, and she fights the great fights, which would, to me, would be, fighting Mikaela Mayer or something like that. But then how much credit they're going to give her? They're going to not give her as much credit because you fought somebody that's smaller and moved up. So she is in a little bit of a catch-22 to some degree. But somebody in the chat said something that kind of struck a chord, and this might be just true, and I've heard it too many times for me to ignore it. A lot of the things that make Clarissa, her difficulty in her upbringing, and she's from Flint, and a lot of people from Flint, some of them don't got no home training. Some of them is ratchet as fuck. I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing, and we can criticize it, but part of her background is what made her her. She's got flaws, there's clear as day, but she's still a great fighter, and she's accomplished a lot, and that both can be true. At the end of the day,
not an excuse to give a half-ass apology about Ali Bashir getting knocked out.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah, listen, when it comes to that, there's no excusing that. I can't really excuse that. So you're not going to get me to try to, because I'm not necessarily playing devil's advocate. I'm just kind of stating my position actually within this conversation.
Because I have issues with people from that background, from that area, like people that are poor, they usually get fucking ratchet. That's what happens. Happens to fucking rednecks. Happens to black folks. Happens to people of all stripes. It's also
I get that. I get that, but let's also say this though. Joe Frazier did not come from a rich background. I invite any of y'all to go back and watch old Joe Frazier interviews, old Muhammad Ali interviews. Obviously, Ali was outspoken, but he wasn't ratchet. Joe Frazier wasn't ratchet. Motherfucking George Foreman was a country boy. He's from the country. He's like a farm guy, but he wasn't ratchet, right? Mike Tyson, he was from one of the worst parts of Brooklyn. But when he started out, he wasn't ratchet neither. I'm just saying, socioeconomic factors are not a pass to act like a jackass. It's not. You either got manners or you don't. That's all.
We're not talking about just that aspect, though. We're talking about your upbringing, your family situation, all that plays a role.
With her, I've heard on more than one occasion, especially recently, that her problem is not even socioeconomic factors; it's mental illness. That what the streets is saying now that the streets is putting her under a magnifying glasses. Mental illness runs in her family, and that makes sense because she something wrong. Like something I could see something's wrong with her. It's very subtle, but there's like a disorder there of some kind. That her brother got problems. In case y'all don't like, her little brother got problems. The one who punched James Ali Bashir in the back of the head. Yeah, that dude got problems. I heard her older sister, she got some mental shit going on. That's what I heard her problem is. And it's like, well, yeah, that makes more sense. It's not just being poor, because a lot of people are poor. Most boxers come from poor backgrounds. Most of them. So it's not that. It's not that.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad you expanded on that, because that's kind of what I was saying to some degree, that there's some there's a couple of things that ain't always clicking at the at all times.
She probably bipolar and other shit like because the weird thing about her is whoever she got beef with, she do something to try to look like them. You got beef with Remy, so you get the Remy wig. You got beef with Alicia, so the week that she was beefing with Alicia, she got a motherfucking wig that looked just like Alicia's hair. It's like, that's the weirdest shit I ever seen. You got beef with a bitch, so you wear your hair like the bitch? That's pretty fucking weird. That week, Alicia did like a photo shoot. Alicia got a body. Everybody know that. And she had like the long curly shit. And the next week, Clarissa does a photo shoot. She does a photo shoot the next week. with the long curly shit. It's like, what are you doing? Like what you got? Like some single female, single white female, single black female. Like, what are you doing? You know, it's just
And she was
personality disorder.
once she stepped out into the hip hop media, she was expecting them to be on code and back her up like tribalist boxing, and they're like, "Nah, we don't do that here."
And motherfuckers don't. I said if you leave the boxing space, you don't realize that it's a lot of people that pull punches in the boxing space because they're trying to respect what you accomplish. They're being nicer to you than you realize. But in the hip hop space, which is more mainstream, they don't give a fuck about your belts. They don't give a fuck about that shit. They don't give a fuck about motherfuckers in that space. They don't give a fuck about motherfuckers. Like, look, motherfuckers make fun of Fat Joe all the time. And he supposed to be one of the fucking pioneers. I never liked Fat Joe, by the way. But he's supposed to be one of the
he was always mid. He was always the mid rapper he was the lowest end of the rapper on the Dick and the Crates crew.
I always thought he was a corn. I still think that even though he's supposed to be verified, but I have always thought Fat Joe was a cornball. But
you can be a tough cornball. You can be a thoroughbred cornball.
I was gonna say that, like, you know, he probably did all that crazy shit you hear about, but that don't mean he not corny. Like, yeah, you could be all that and corny. So
It was the funny thing.
You can be a stick-up kid and be a
That funny
cornball.
shit where Clarissa short circuited, where they asked her, "Well, how long you gonna keep dating a married man?"
What she said.
Yo.
And she like short circuited.
Oh, what she said? Like, what
She's
happened?
like, well, no, you gotta. Well, if you're gonna do that to me, you gotta say whoever is dating Remy Ma, she's a married woman. Like, she always throws it to somebody else. She always tries to pivot.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could do that, you know, and you know how you answer that. Well, look, when we got Remy in here, we'll ask her that. But right now, we got you in here. So when
Like,
Remy in here,
she really thought Cameron was gonna wrap his arm around her. Like, I got you, sister. You the GOAT. They didn't got more views than you. If they a co-main, she really thought he was gonna do that.
I mean, shit, man. You know, like, Cam is a you know, the shit is that Cam is not. Yo, here's the thing: people in hip hop are not nice people, and I just did you not like it's Cam, ma? That's Cam. What do you think? You think he gonna get a comforter out and comfort you and hug you? Like, it's Cam, bro. Like, that's Cam. What do you think? It's 50 Cent is the set. Like, what you think 50 gonna do in this situation? You better leave him alone. That dude don't got nothing but time. Like, yeah, leave that dude alone. You're not gonna win this one. You might be undefeated in the ring, but not in this space. They don't give a fuck about all them belts you won. They don't give a fuck about them gold medals. You still a goofy broad to them. So, you know, go ahead. Do what you do.
I'm so glad AJ didn't give her no dick. That would have made her fucking even worse.
Nah, I mean, like, look, man. As far as you know,
what
the looks
are we talking
and all,
about here?
Yeah,
you didn't know she tried to play like AJ gave her, like she hooked up with AJ. She tried to play that
yes,
shit.
There was a content creator that said that AJ gave her some swag. He gave her, like, you know, some merch, some free shit. And this is according to the girl. I seen the video, and Clarissa was running around acting like they fucked because he gave her some. It's like, yo, what's something? That's enough.
Just whacked it on her forehead.
But hold on. Let me be fair. Hold on. Let's be fair. Okay, I'm gonna talk like Jews. Let's be fair to these bitches, man. They dropping their jaws for AJ, and she ain't no fucking exception. They gonna act a fucking fool for AJ because he all buff and shit, and bust it open for a real one.
No, I mean, they are all gonna do that. It's just that she's still a weirdo.
She's lying on her pussy.
A weirdo. Like you. That's some weird. AJ gave you some free shit, and in your mind, he fucked. The fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, do we have to just confirm though? Because the thing is, Jules, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's not. It's a girl. It's a girl on YouTube that said it's not confirmed. It's a girl.
So Jules, let me ask you this question. I'm glad you admit this, but will you admit this to me? Even if it's true or not, you'll still be fair enough to say it's not true, but you will lean towards talking about the negative connotation side of it because you're a viewpoint of Clarissa. Am I right or wrong?
Nah, I would not, because Clarissa. See, here's the thing about Clarissa. Look, apparently Alicia has fucked a lot of people, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that, by the way. Like, nah, that's the world we live in, fam. Like, yeah, girls want to get fucked. That's normal. You can't get on a pedestal and talk about her sexual proclivities when you ready to spread your asshole for Big AJ, for Big Fem. Like, you a hoe too, bitch. If we gonna do like if consensual sex between consenting adults makes Alicia a hoe, okay, so you a hoe too, bitch. Difference is Alicia never put your shit out there. Like, not that I should know, Brim, but Clarissa Shields, since debuting as a professional, by my count, has had at least 5 or 6 boyfriends. Because she's definitely, I mean, like, yeah, by my count, I keep
I don't
up
know. I
with
thought
shit,
she only
bro.
had one boyfriend. I thought she was with that dude. He was the short dude.
No,
He was his
sir.
fiance. They broke up. Y'all back
She's
together.
had at least 5 boyfriends. So it's just like, I mean, in other words, don't throw stones in a glass house. Pretty much. Don't throw stones in a glass house. You know you ain't gonna have. You know you seen more dicks than a little bit, and that's okay. You a grown one. You suck as much dick as you want. Fuck as much as you want. But you can't get mad at her for doing that. Common sense. Don't throw stones in a glass house. If she a hoe, then so are you. Cause you's about to bust it for Big Femi. You know, you's about to spread that asshole for Big Femi.
You're an adulteress.
Shout out to SSS. Shakur and Hitchens piping Shields. Yeah, I heard. Did y'all hear that? That she let Shakur fuck?
At the same
I
time?
heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. Look, man, you know, Marco is a different kind of cat, is what I'm going to say. He's a different kind of guy. I say I would like to shag Taylor Swift. He look at me like I'm crazy, but he trying to fuck Clarissa Shields. The fuck wrong with him? Like, what the fuck wrong? Like I'm bugging out because I say, like, Taylor ain't half bad. She okay. She kind of bony, but she all right. And I got to be A, B, C, and D. But he hot for like, nah, her ass look like a book bag with water balloons in it. Like,
I'm hot for
good,
that
dog.
new calendar
Good,
that
dog.
cornbread. I'm hot for them new photos cornbread mommy's been dropping.
Bro, you gotta stop coming in here talking. No, Drew. You gotta stop coming in here talking about this bitch. If you hot for the bitch, just go fuck the bitch. I'm sick of hearing about the bitch. Shit. Fuck the bitch. Clarissa ass don't got a nice shape. It don't. It look like
squared.
It looked like the Department of Motor Vehicles when you go in there and shit. It's like kind of bitches you see in there and shit. Like, come on, B. I can't do it. If Shakur fuck that bitch, he's a different kind of cat. Yeah, you different.
You know what he did? I was like, damn, that's crazy. Shakur and
his stomach must be made of like.
So Papoose is just fucking her for a place to live.
I mean, he's a 50-year-old guy, right, Drew? It's for him. It's sort of a flex. Look at me fucking this young 31-year-old bitch. She gonna suck my dick later. You know, it's a flex for him. But Cora, like, nah, you young homie. What you fucking this fucking sloppy joint, pussy smelling like motherfucking Paul Mason and shit. I'm good, dog.
Like Boone's Farm.
I am good, dog. I am all right.
Bro, every day I judge Sonny Edwards more and more. Like, you wanted that, man.
Nah, I mean, look, I fuck with Sonny, but Sonny another one of them guys trying to get invited to the cookout. I'm sorry, yo, trying to get invited to the cookout, dog. Like, you don't gotta, you know, you try and get invited to the cookout. It is what it is. I personally, like, nah, that's not my, that's not, nah. It's just not, it's not a nice body to look at. For other people, hey, do you? Everybody's entitled to their opinions and their preferences. That's not a nice body to look at, personally. Not for me. You know, maybe Marco, North Dallas. Shout out to North Dallas, but you know,
Dallas,
South Dallas. You know, I couldn't.
Bitch, when are you gonna watch Spider-Man?
I got a lot of shit to do, man. It's you know, I have kids, Drew, and it's back to school. It's back to school.
It's back to school week. But
yeah,
you would think they want to watch Spider-Man too.
I want to watch Spider-Man, but I had to go to fucking what is that shit they do? Open house. Open.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Back to school.
Gotta do all that shit.
Are you guys aware of the viral clip where the Republicans are saying you should be able to feed your family burritos for $20? Did you see all that shit going on Twitter?
Nah, I didn't see that shit.
Oh yeah, Montero posted that shit on Twitter.
And the guy's like, you make your ground beef last longer by adding in beans to it.
What is
Well,
this?
careful about the Chipotle shit, guys. You know, thing is going crazy out there.
They're like, there's no inflation, there's no prices aren't rising. I was able to feed my family with $20 and make burritos. And they're like,
Okay,
get the
okay.
fuck out of here. Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Drew, I went to I ran to the store to grab a couple of knickknacks. It was only $24, right? Only $24. I bought a whole fucking case of eggs, whole fucking case. A thing of juice, hamburger buns because I needed some hamburger buns, sliced bread, and what else? What else? Coffee. I got all that for $24, Drew, at Walmart. So I buy groceries a lot in case you guys don't notice. And I would say no, prices have been steady. They've
What kind
been
of
steady.
juice?
Just apple juice. My son loves fucking apple juice, so I always get him apple juice. But that was actually a lot of groceries for $24 when you think about it. It's a whole case of eggs, bro. That shit is gonna last at least 2 fucking weeks. At least. For a family of 4. It's like that's pretty fucking good. That case of eggs is under $10.
That's good. I spent fucking $25 on a fucking slab of bacon though, but I get the thick bacon.
Well, then that's why you paying more. You get the thick shit.
I like that bacon though. That should last me long. I don't need fucking
Yeah.
4 slices. I get 2.
Yeah, you know, I like the thick bacon too. I don't when I do get bacon, I don't because I've been laying off the bacon. You guys remember I was going on a bacon binge? I just fry up a whole fucking pack of bacon and just
You were
eat
eating
shit.
bacon like potato chips.
Yeah, chill. Like, yo, I'm fucking 43. I can't be eating bacon like that. I like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit is crazy. But
I was like, at least make a BLT, motherfucker.
I just wanted the bacon, bro. Fucking frying that
Now,
shit
are
up
you a
just like
crunchy
that.
bacon or like soft?
Semi-soft bacon. Semi-soft.
Perfect.
I don't like for it to be charred. Like I don't like that.
Like
I don't
it
want it to
fucking
be
crunch.
Yeah, I don't want it to be too like you know a little bit of crunch on the edges is good, but I don't want for the whole fucking thing to be charred. Like, yeah, I won't be able to chew this shit.
Yeah, Jules doesn't want bacon jerky.
For real. But I would say the prices are kind of steady, at least on the grocery front. So I would agree with that. I would agree. Apparently fucking Wisconsin got a communist. They about to have a communist governor, bro.
She wants to cancel Thanksgiving.
She hates the bitch hate everything, bro. She hates everything. I'm like, and you wanna fucking run for office in this country? Bitch, just move to China. The fuck is your problem? If you like, I don't understand that. If you hate these motherfuckers that much, why are you here, bitch?
Another one went viral. They had all the different accents Mom Donnie's been using over the years.
Well, don't talk too bad about him. Virtuoso gonna get mad. You know, whenever we talk about Mom Donnie, Virtuoso don't like that shit. He get tight
because he's a spotter now. He's helping him get up to a bench at 150 now.
Yeah, yo, he's gonna work in one of them fucking communist grocery stores for him, bro. Don't say too much about Mom Donnie. No, that motherfucking no. I'm going to sleep, y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one.
Nacho.
All right.